Welcome to The Right Stuff. I am author Robert Bone, and today I want to share a little opportunity that I had and why that was important and what kind of my takeaway from that was. So if you don't already know, my book was reviewed by José from José's Amazing Worlds, and we also had a chance to sit down and have a discussion about my book, the writing process, and a couple other things. So this was a really neat opportunity for me, and I told Jose multiple times, thank you for doing that, and he probably got tired of me saying that, but it meant a lot to me. So real quick, I am going to link to his channel, and I'm going to put links into his two videos that had to do with me. So please go watch those and his other videos. He does great content, and he gives really good reviews on books. So why was this important to me, and why am I talking about it? Well, the reason that this was super important to me is because I had been spending I spent several weeks approaching different YouTubers, booktubers, to review my book, because as an indie author, this is something that I very much needed, as a point of maybe not validation, but as a compass point to where I land as an author. I had approached many, and only one person agreed, and then actually did the review of my book. So real quick interjection here. I do not mean to say that anybody who rejected me or couldn't do the review or couldn't even get back to me, that they're bad people, or that I'm mad at them or anything like that. That is just me saying that Jose is the only one that really gave me a chance, and everyone else, other people got their things going on their YouTube channels, other books to read, all that stuff. So I don't blame anybody who didn't do a review or didn't even get back to me or whatever. So I just want to make sure that that's clear, and that nobody thinks that I'm like bashing all the other people that I approached and didn't get results or didn't get a response out of. So just wanted to make that clear. As an indie author, having people tell you what they think of your work, it's typically people you already know, right? It's typically family, it's friends, it's other acquaintances, where they have some inherent bias in your favor, assuming they like you. If they don't, they probably trash your book. But so I wanted somebody to review it who I had no connection to. And Jose did that, and it didn't matter. He warned me ahead of time that it was going to be an honest review, that he wasn't going to hold anything back, he wasn't going to sugarcoat anything, that he was going to give it like he thought it was. And so because that was what I was looking for, that I wanted that honesty to have a compass point as to where I land as an indie author. That sounded amazing to me. I think a lot of people would kind of turn away from that because, if somebody doesn't like your work and they trash it, that's hard to take. But because I've been struggling with this for so long, because, this is a constant question of whether or not I should continue doing this. I needed that. I needed someone to read it and then say whether they thought it was good or bad. So Jose did the review, and he wasn't wowed by it, or at least, he wasn't like super impressed with it. I think that's fair to say. But he didn't hate it either. So it landed somewhere in the middle, I think, from what I could tell. And he had some great criticisms and very fair criticisms. And there's a couple points where he had some compliments. So why was it important for me to have somebody just be brutally honest? Because this is what I want to do. Because this is the career that I want to make and be able to hopefully someday make some kind of living off of it. I needed to know if I had the chops, if I have the chops for writing. And because, he didn't trash it. And this was my first book, right? He reviewed The Condemned right here. I'm sure you can see it on screen. Because that was my first book, it certainly has some fundamental flaws. But the thing is I know that I've grown as an author since writing that, since even the final product that I put out. So I believe that absolutely gives me hope. And being able to look at that review and know that I've gone a step or two further, and to know that first attempt wasn't awful, that gives me a little validation that I can do this. Like I can at least have a chance to make something of this. And in my journey, learning how to take criticism, even especially negative criticism, has been absolutely vital to growing as an author. And that's something that we don't talk about enough, because you can write a book, you can have a degree in creative writing, but that doesn't guarantee that you're a good writer. It can mean that you know how to put sentences together. It means that you know how to structure your writing in such a way that people can follow it. But it doesn't guarantee that you are a good storyteller. So me, having started from almost nothing, I have no creative writing degree. I don't even have an English degree. I learned all this on my own. I did everything I could to bolster all of my knowledge concerning novel writing. And one of the things that helps me continue to grow is to be able to retain or to take criticism, even if it's negative, because you can have positive criticism. I guess that's kind of arguing semantics, but knowing your weaknesses lets you work past them. You have to make that choice, obviously. Also learning the difference between what is opinion and what is objective feedback is just as important, because you have to learn the difference between what people don't like and what's actually wrong with your story, or where it's not wrong, but where it's weaker. And so when you can identify those weaknesses, when you can understand what people are telling you, and sometimes people will tell you a problem they had with your book, and it can actually point to a different problem that you have with some of your other writing. So in other words, if somebody is confused about a part, or about its significance within the story, that doesn't mean that right there is the problem. It means that you didn't spend enough time building up that point of interest. So just being able to dissect and understand how somebody's words or criticisms fit in within your own writing is just as important as even just being able to hear someone out say, I didn't like this, or this part was rough for me. Because you can always grow from those points. And yes, you're not going to please everybody. You're not going to wow everybody. But there are certainly things that you can grab from that, and then apply it, and then circumvent that. So that's why this interview and this discussion that I had with Jose as well was so important for me, because it gave me that unconnected opinion and feedback, and objective feedback as well, that I was able to understand and take from Jose. And so that's why that was super important to me. And because that happened, and because it turned out better than I expected, I really do feel like I can continue working as an author, and I don't have as much qualms about stopping, or I don't have as much qualms about continuing on. I mean, because I have some degree of validation that I can make it, that I can continue to be an author and to potentially make something of myself within this space. So that's all I've got today. I'm going to quit rambling. I can go on and on about this thing, but I'm going to leave it there. Hope you like and subscribe, and I'll have more videos coming out soon, hopefully. But please go check out Jose's Amazing Worlds. It's a great channel. Jose is a great guy, does great reviews, great work. So check him out. All right, later.